it's Tiff back again, and today we are working back in our altered book. If you're unsure how to do an altered book as an art journal, make sure you go check out my video where I show you how easy it is. So, I am just jumping on the bandwagon with the Distress Oxides. Nope, I never owned any until this week. So I wanted to make sure I shared with you guys what I figured out and how I kind of made this page work. So I'm going in, as you can see, with 3 colors of the oxides, and I will try to remember to put the oxide, which ones I use, down below. And I'm going in here because the cool thing about the oxides is that they are water soluble. So you can move them around kind of like you do watercolor. Be mindful here that I did not pre-gesso this page, which I thought would be interesting to see how does that react. What happens whenever the water droplets, because that's what I was doing, is splattering the water droplets off my paintbrush. What happens when it's not a gessoed surface? And I was really surprised at the interesting effect that the non-gessoed surface did, because this is a very old manual book that I'm using, so I wasn't sure how that was going to play in the overall piece, and I really think it's a pretty cool effect that I was able to get. So I'm just doing like pulling it up and kind of drying it off with the other notebook paper that you see there, because y'all know I love to keep all those little notebook papers and little pieces that have the ink on them, and I'll use those in future projects. So I just couldn't step away without pulling a little bit of that pink. I think it's something raspberry. And I'm kind of showing you here how the oxide effects kind of does with the pink on top of the other colors. I think it's really interesting, even though these are water-based, that you can, or not water-based, water-reactive, I guess is a better way to say that. But I thought it was interesting how they layered on top of each other. So if you haven't got on the Distress bandwagon and tried out the oxides, I really thought that these were pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan about buying every single product that comes out on the market, because as we know, there are tons of art supplies that hit. But I do like bringing you guys fresh creative content, and I'll also link it down below, which is an affiliate link. It'll just help me in buying new art supplies. I get a small commission. So if you would, check down the link below and order your Amazon orders from the links. It kind of helps me buy new supplies. Anyway, as you can see, I went in with the acrylic inks. And I just wanted to get some kind of whites going as a contrast to what we already have. And I'm just going to smush it down. And I'm enjoying this effect. If you haven't checked me out on Instagram, make sure you do that, because I've been posting some of my trials and some of my different explorations with these. And I'm going in here with, I believe that was Martha Stewart, kind of metallic gold color there. And I'm also going to go and grab my most favorite thing. It's one of my favorites, guys. The Crackle Paste from Deco Arts. If you haven't got in on the Crackle, it is a fabulous product. And one of the things that I thought was very cool here is because the oxides are water soluble, the Crackle Paste is going to kind of be absorbed. Like, it's going to absorb some of those oxide colors and kind of give us some cool, interesting variations and tones that are not just white like the regular Crackle Paste. And as you see, I just would use my palette knife because I love the way it skips across. And of course, I have gotten hiccups. And if you know, one of my things with the the Crackle Paste, is to try to let it air dry. I know that it's painful sometimes to let it air dry, but let those cracks really start cracking on their own. And then if you feel like you need to rush it with the heating tool, you can. But I do find the best cracks come from the natural ability of the air dry. And I'm just going in here with that Lyra graphite water soluble big chunky pencil. You can find the link below for it as well. And I'm going in and I'm just kind of letting that graphite sink into the cracks to give you some opportunity to really showcase how awesome the cracks are and the dark contrast from the charcoal soluble pencil there. I'm going in with some scribbles because nothing's like a page if it don't have scribbles for Tiffany, right? I just like messy, wild scribbles. No real rhyme or reason, but just kind of makes me feel good. And as you can see from a little cha-cha-cha there. And then I'm going to go in with what I thought I was going to use was some cheesecloth. And I opted not to use the cheesecloth. So I'm going to go in here with just some words from my large print book. The book I'm using is called Sprig Muslin in large print. I know a few of you who have followed along with my 100-day project and love all of the silly little things that it says have been asking me about that. So it is a large print book. And now we're going to use the reference on the other side. But as you know, if you've been watching my Mondays videos, I decided to use the side as a reference. So to kind of show what colors I've used, in case I want to recreate something similar, I can kind of know what effects and what colors. So I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to take a little bit of the oxides that I used and I'm going to just put a little swatch so that I know exactly what's going on. Yeah, guys, I'm just going to pick up a paintbrush and I'm going to swatch out part of what's going on here, because I don't know about you, but I've looked back at some of my old journal pages and I'm like, man, that was so cool, but how did I do that now? So I'm just going in here. The cool thing about the oxides and the distress inks is you can actually just do it like watercolor, which I thought was pretty neat. And I'm going to play a little bit more with some interesting things or trials and errors with the distress oxides, because I know lots of us have it. And I'm not a card maker, and I see a lot of people using it in that form, but I'm a mixed media artist. So how can we take this very cool product and kind of push the limits? And I'm a limit pusher, so I wanted to try and see what I can come up with. So make sure that you click the subscribe button. Make sure that you comment and leave me some messages and tell me how you guys like this video. And I hope that this brings a little bit of joy and a little bit of art to your Monday. And until next time, toodaloo!